morning, potential viewers that I still have to come up with a name for and a name for my channel. um, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about video stuff and details and whatnot, and I haven't posted much recently because my equipment. I'm going to blame my equipment. I have been busy, but my phone screen is really cracked, and it's just it, when I type, it likes to freak out and write whatever it wants, and then my battery goes from 80% to 3% in 30 seconds. So it's been a little frustrating trying to create content with it. So I'm kind of putting money aside to get a new phone in a bit here. So yeah, that's the biggest reason for the massive lull here. I'm a little short on equipment and cash right now coming into Christmas. But anyways, as far as content goes, haven't had a lot of great ideas either, but we're in the grind. It's winter, doing lots of long zone 2 stuff, getting it done. Been really compliant so far, so it's been cool. Um, it's encouraging to see that if you want to put the work in, you can do it. Um, I looked at the training plan when I started and I thought, man, this calls for like 10 hours of riding a week. I can't do that. With the kids and everything, there's no way I can make that happen. The most I've done in the past few years is 5 to 7 hours on average. Is 7 hours is usually a pretty good week for me. And now for 6 weeks, I've been getting anywhere from 8.5 to 11 hours a week of riding in. So it's not easy. You have to adjust your schedule and you have to commit to it, but it's possible. If you want to go for the big things, you just got to figure it out. There's there's always a way to do it. Um, yeah, so it kind of relates a little bit to the patch that I have on my hat, which I feel like can be read two completely different ways, and it's symbolic of my journey through cycling. So it gets worse before it gets worse, right? So obviously a play on it gets worse before it gets better, which has always been a saying that kind of bugged me, because you never know when it's going to get better, and it usually does. But I used to be a lot more pessimistic, and it was kind of like that's how I thought. Well, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse, and then it's going to get even worse. And that was kind of my attitude, and it led to a lot of complaining and just not being satisfied with the way things were in life. We've had some financial issues and things, and I just tended to look at the negative, always being the negative. Um, as I've been going through this journey of really long rides and training and, well, raising kids and finding my own shortcomings in that, and um, doing some of these long events, and then coming home and talking to my kids about it, and talking to them about how we grow as people and how we push ourselves and how we become better and all that kind of stuff. My my attitude has started to change, and I believe my faith has a big part of that. But the rides, the Margie, the pole roll, the crusher, these long things, even doing, I did a 200-mile gravel ride by myself a couple years ago, and pushing through those big things has just changed my attitude. So it still gets worse before it gets worse, and sometimes it gets worse yet. So you're riding and it starts to rain, and then it gets cold, and then you get a flat and you got to fix that. There's always something negative happening, right? There's always going to be something bad. There's always going to be something that tries to derail you. It's just life. It's like that on a ride. It's like that at work, at school, anything we do. There's always going to be obstacles. Um, so rather than succumb to the, oh, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, you just accept it. Well, yeah, it's going to get worse, and then it's going to get worse, and then it's going to get worse. So what? Keep moving, keep pushing, deal with it. At some point, it's going to get better if you put in the work. Um, so I look at it as a positive thing, as a recognition that life is tough. It's going to beat you up, whether you're training for a bike ride or saving up for a house, or trying to have kids and you haven't been able to, whatever it is, the outcome might not be in your control, but the steps are. The things that you do every day are totally under your control. How you react to life getting worse and kicking you is absolutely under your control. So yeah, that's my blabbering for today. Again, I apologize for starting this thing and not putting videos up, but hopefully soon I'll have a little bit better device and be able to make this happen a little easier. So if you have actually tuned into this, I appreciate you. You're awesome, and keep crushing it. Happy Friday.